All right, greetings team. This is a quick progress video on themes, on Maven, on Wantware, making an app from scratch from a blank screen. Now this isn't a blank screen because we're just working on the part of Maven that builds an interface. And what I'm going to show in this video is the progress made in just being able to use the vast amount of web content to create UI elements. Think about how much Windows took from DOS, or succeeded because it ran DOS and had all those DOS apps. How as hokey as they were and forgotten as they are now, it built that platform. So we want to use everything from the web. I'm going to flip to a couple different pages. What you see over here where I'm moving the cursor is our web browser using WebKit. And over here is a Maven scene. It's just a test scene, but it's a scene for building pieces of UI in this example. And I'm going to use a couple simple sliders just to give you a sense of, this is just a little staging pad area to sort of see what's happening. And what we're going to do is transform some web pages with i8 as per usual. Over here we have a mirror that just helps me see stuff the opposite of my view. And over here we're extruding whatever we're seeing also by i8. So I'm going to zoom in a little here. Yeah, we've got an ad, and that will continue on. So this is just a drawing page. There are zillions of them out there on the web, as you guys know. And if I start drawing on this page, this one's even a little stilted. You can see, all right, it appears over here. If I change some of the sculpt level, I can affect it differently. Typical i8 stuff. I can move it so it's just, in space, free-flowing. Now, would anybody want to make a UI element that looked like this? Doubtful. Although it might be kind of fun to do. But just to show some raw capabilities, I'm going to drop some circles in because those are easy in this particular tool. We're gonna try a whole bunch of them, and we're gonna try to do this quickly to give you a sense of the types of things that anybody without engineering skill might be able to do to produce an app from scratch in days or weeks instead of months or years. Believe me, the irony of timing, given how late I am, it never escapes me. So I'm just using the eraser here to sculpt through, and i8 has decided to make this particular shape. It's extruded over here, and you can see that in other areas. But it lets me start to edit existing things. Lets me find something as artists, like when I ran What If and I had a team of 3D artists would go do. They go find images on the web or data disks or photographs and then modifies things. So we're trying to make sure you could do anything that you might be able to describe. I'm going to flip to some other pages. As you'll see this web page load, and remember everything we're doing now is fully supported. Other than the DRM of Netflix, I haven't found a web page I can't use well. I don't even use Firefox anymore. I just use the Joule web browser. Now, here we've sculpted out whatever I'm drawing, and let me draw that stuff in, and you can see that zoom plays a role here in what's relevant, and the idea is I might draw something. I don't know what this might have been. Maybe this could be a tree. I don't know. This is not a very good looking tree, but probably got to get in with some colors. But it's created a real shape, and basically I can just pan and zoom and select that shape out and drag it over here into the interface. Let me show you a more specific example. Remember last year we did calculator and menu app and voting app and a bunch of different simple pieces of software that exist in the real world. So this is based on AI. This is just trying to show how much of everything that exists we can use well, is the hope here. So I'm going to take this drawing app and just fade it out a little. And do you remember when I did one that was just, it was like a dinner vote for a family, like such as mine or anyone's, where they have to, any group of people, where they want to decide what to eat tonight. We're going to vote on pizza, tacos, sushi. That was You've seen the words, you've seen the behavior. That's flawless. But what we didn't have is a lot of good visuals for it. And I'm not going to make the greatest visuals right now. So is this a taco? So if you had to vote for a family between tacos, pizza, and sushi, let's say it's your Friday night family event here. That was not a very substantial taco, I think. You know, I've done this a bunch of times, and I've gotten good taco examples. Oh, there's one. So, you know, nice, or, ooh, this one's even cooler. And I'm going to move it a little just to sort of set it up in there. So let's color it. You can see it over here. Maybe I should zoom in a little. I don't know if that's that helpful. So the notion is I can just have some things set up on the web. I don't have to do this. Somebody sends it to me, or I play with it, or I, you know, whatever it is that I'm particularly liking. I'm going to make that black outline. I'm going to use a bucket and then fill in yellow for the taco shell, right? And what I'm doing right here is stuff that usually people who play around with the web are pretty comfortable with. Simple GUI, simple controls. You know, I think that's fairly acceptable. But they all exist inside. We absorb the JavaScript behaviors. We run all these pieces, all in a sandbox. So look, see this little taco guy? Is that the coolest taco item for the app we described before? Maybe, maybe not. We're going to do several themes of it, several different versions. What's exciting is we just take this guy and we drag him right into here, which I'm currently fixing with the update cascade, but it's not a big leap of faith or technology to make sure that I can just bring it right in and save it for all time. But I've made my piece. Oh, and by the way, that used a little bit of AI. I drew something and identified it. I hate saying AI because it's really just pattern recognition. But nice pattern matching, good stuff. Let's say here we also want to add to our tacos. I want to make them exciting because I like the tacos. You know, I can draw some other stuff here. And maybe go back to the previous tool or the next tool and combine them all. And that's kind of the exciting part of this process, to start mixing all of the things these different websites have. But the websites don't mix each other. We do. This also is, of course, a nice security thing if you ever consider that we can literally render a web page here for whatever content it has on it and then visually process it, which we do with i8, get new data. You know, security thing. You're doing something sneaky. You don't want to have it traced back. You don't want one thing on one machine or on another. We pass it between i8 and then reprocess it. Interesting potentials. I think that comment's really just for Ken. But so let's say I'm trying to draw a piece of pizza, and I am not a good drawer. So hopefully at some point it will have mercy on me here and identify. There we go. There's a pizza slice. So yay, pizza. Or this circular one, that's nice. Or square, look at that. That's kind of cool. But this is probably most traditional. So in that menu app where we're choosing sushi, tacos, pizza, so let's go with this guy. And you know, I think you get the idea. I could color it in. I could do stuff with it, and it'll be a solid object out here. You know, in the environment that we need to drag back into the UI. So web goes into items. Now, and sure, you might be saying to yourself, well, man, what if we don't want that kind of pizza? What if we want some other type of image? You know, why not use one of those? You could. Here we could use a more realistic taco. I think this will be a giant taco. So really got to zoom that back significantly to get it right, and probably change the sculpt entirely. But the idea of just grabbing the information you need, processing it, and yes, we can do something about rights. We can have things that, like, oh, this was clearly flagged as Creative Commons, or not. This example, I think I've just blown it because I missed it, but it's just nice to see that you can pull things out of videos. You want to just snap a small clip or a phase. It doesn't need to be extruded like this. But the idea is that I can show up and grab a wide range of content and use that to build a UI and then process it with i8. extrude it, enhance it. Here we have a grid. This almost looks a little too noisy, and yet when you see what this actual scene is, I think it probably fits well. For those that like classic games, which has become quite a market, remarkably, you know, it could be really nice to process, you know, or play an experience. I know we've always shown this sort of potential, but I actually have all the controls in now, finally, to really play with these things. So that's pretty cool. I will not force you to watch me play Rhaegar, as it will take up the bulk of the video. But even interactive games, I want to make sure we're clear we can do that. This says draw a knee. So this is an AI game on the web, and I'm trying to draw a knee. Okay, I draw a bat. Nobody needs me to draw, but I want to just establish clearly that we can do these things. Is that? Let's see if we can pull that right out. Am I going the wrong way? Yeah. Well, I don't think that really fit as a bat, huh? Oh well. Speedboat. You get the idea. The response is fast. The interactivity is alive. The processing of those visuals, I never need to see this screen. I only need to see the i8 world. So next video up, you should see me pulling directly the things we were just talking about into the UI and using them as buttons or sliders or markers on a map. Show me where all the tacos are. You will see also multiple pages pulled into different panels, pulled into a whole space. So there's maybe you make a food making space, or somebody makes one and shares it with you. If we have big goals, one of them is appeal. We got to be pretty. The other is ease of use. It's got to be simple for people to do at low friction. And another is sharing. It's got to be simple for me to take something I've done, give it to someone else, and they can build from there. And we're making that happen. Thanks for the patience. This has been the most arduous journey I could possibly imagine, but it is worth it. You all have great weekends.